That smell is back. The smelly smell. The smelly smell that smells smelly. The aroma of Mario movie hype. The smell of the YouTuber comeback is in the air too, but the hype train specifically has left the station. Yesterday, the Super Mario Galaxy movie trailer just dropped. Now we have a proper first look at the film. If you saw my reaction to the trailer, and the semi-botched analysis afterwards, botched mainly in the video, didn't render the rest of me going bit by bit in the trailer. After Peach is kicking a bunch of ninjas' asses, it's literally just a still for the last 9 minutes of that video. But if you saw my reaction...
Hey Luigi! What's up, Mario?
that is really good. Oh my god! Oh! 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 What? Oh. My queen! My queen! You know, anticipation and excitement are massive understatements for how I feel about this Super Mario Galaxy movie. If you've known me and my channel for a good while, adoration, passion, and love are gargantuan understatements for my feelings on both Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2. The levels, the mechanics, the settings, the atmospheres, the soundtracks, the stories, mainly Galaxy 1's story, Rosalina, etc. I could prattle on about Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 for hours as I could with any of this Little Red Goober's games till my last breath. But it just so happened 2.5 years ago, we got a movie based on Super Mario Bros. And instead of just playing the long game, instead of just making the predictable trilogy anthology route by going game by game for the core foundations of sequels in order like Mario 3, Mario World, etc. Nintendo wanted to opt in basing the sequel of the first film on Super Mario Galaxy, and we've all talked how exciting yet confusing that decision was. But Galaxy 1 and 2, both of those games are some of the most beloved and iconic Mario games in the entire franchise. They defined the Wii generation, they defined Rosalina, a super popular character, and a bevy of Mario spin-offs from that point. Even when other mainline Mario games have sold way more units, and a couple spin-offs too, you can never undersell the impact and the resonance the Galaxy games left on so many Mario fans today, as well as the series itself. And the reactions from that trailer echo that immensely. The trailer itself reverberates how big of a stamp Galaxy's made on the Mario series. And, dude, oh my god. By George and Nancy, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, and all the saints in heaven. Dude, this movie looks so perfect. Perfect. Everything down to the last minute details. In my opinion, in my own personal stance, from the biggest Mario craze troglodyte you're ever gonna find on this site, probably, this movie is doing so much right, so much beautifully and carefully done perfectly. It looks amazing. It looks so spectacular so far that I am a little bit surprised how hard it's hitting me right now. It's hitting me a good amount to where it kind of hurts. It's somewhat painful on my soul how amazing this movie looks, how much 9-year-old me is being vindicated by how hard Nintendo's pushing the Galaxy love with this movie, the recent remasters, a physical version of Rosalina's storybook, the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade this year, having a Mario Galaxy specific Mario float and such. But hot damn, this movie. Oh my god, this movie, dude. Dreaming of a properly adapted Mario movie was one thing, but immediately going straight to Galaxy, dreaming of a properly adapted Galaxy movie, going to one of my favorite games of all time, one of the best Mario games in the entire franchise, fusing a lot of what the Mario Brothers movie does right into a Galaxy one to where it looks this pristine, this colorful, this faithful, creative, and fun, is really gratifying but it is still just super surreal. This heartwarming and poignant feeling, it kind of hurts. I could not be happier, even if I tried, about how I could feel this way about these Mario movies and Mario games in general. And the Super Mario Brothers movie is not perfect by any means. It's a little too fast-paced. It doesn't give us quite enough downtime and exploration into some of these characters than we would have liked. The plot's pretty thin, etc. It's got its flaws for sure. Most of them boil down to what it doesn't do or doesn't have, and I wish some of these would get corrected. We'll revisit some of these critiques later in the video. But damn it, I love that movie so much regardless. It's pretty much everything you could expect from a properly produced theatrical Mario movie. From the presentation, the art style, the character and world designs, the animation especially, to the characterizations and writing of most of the characters, plus the sound design and the soundtrack, also the thematic parallels to the Mario games, like Mario's character and journey, Luigi, Bowser, multiple set pieces throughout the film, etc., on top of the abundance of fan service. The Mario movie sets out what it's trying to do extremely well, and it really is a super fun video game movie, just like playing the Mario games themselves. I believe it's going to age really well because of how unabashedly Mario it pretty much is on every front, even with its flaws. But this feeling is so much stronger, so much more potent than with the original tease and the original first major trailer for the Mario Brothers movie. Both the Bowser raiding Snowland plus Mario hopping in the Mushroom Kingdom teaser and the Peach, Donkey Kong, and Tanuki Mario trailer. This warm, fulfilling comfort in my heart and soul after the first proper trailer for the Galaxy movie is easily on a different level. Like, words will never be able to articulate how utterly elated I am right now. Not just because I'm a smooth-brained barbarian for Mario, but Galaxy is within my top 3 favorite games of all time. Not just Mario. Galaxy 2 somewhere in my top 10 general Mario. It's up there because there's so much potential surrounding it. The ideas and setups they've yet to announce, characters to continue, broaden, refine, just so much potential for a Mario Galaxy movie to deliver and even be better than the Mario Brothers movie, even by just a little bit. And that would be great too. But even what we have now, this movie's affected me on such a deeper level than I ever anticipated, and I was already anticipating to be hit on a major level anyways. Growing up with these characters and worlds for so many years, for literally most of my life, the way these characters function, how they operate in every Mario game, the way the Mario world, outer world operate, relationships between these characters, traits, gameplay physics, mechanics, etc. All these things baking into your mind, all of these facets compounding more and more as time passes. Just how heavy these properties are as games, and with how often prior to this last generation of movie making, video game adaptations always struggled to hit the mainstream and be competent, faithful adaptations to begin with. So the first Mario movie managing to pull through as a competent adaptation, managing to exhibit that novelty of being a good video game movie, but also not hold anything back, really bake the Mario ethos onto the big screen, was such a huge blessing. But seeing it again with Mario Galaxy, the mainline Mario game I've sunk the most time into, do the same thing, but on another level with higher stakes and even more core Mario elements? Guys, I think you know already what time it is. I'm coming back from around the block to dissect and analyze as much of this trailer as I can. Characters, moments, Easter eggs, set pieces, potential possibilities for all of them, etc. Discuss my feelings, theorize the possibilities, and just yammer, gossip, and squawk as much as I can find and see in this trailer for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I hope we can have a little bit of fun. I hope we could have a little fun together, go in a little schizo mode. So, there's obviously a sequel to the Mario Brothers movie, but it did just feel nice. We start off the whole trailer with Bowser still small in his prison, now modeled after his castle, picking up mentally soothing hobbies like painting, maintaining a bonsai bush. But more than half of this entire trailer is just Bowser painting and him getting the Mario Brothers' opinion on his work. As far as trailers go, some people say this part's padded out for the runtime, it was too long, or wasn't the type of content you'd expect from most general trailers. And while I can see that, get used to me using this adjective. I think this whole section was perfect. It's perfect. Everything down to the last minute details. Bowser picking up painting. It's not only comical. Bowser's quelling his anger by painting, and Bowser Jr. is using his painting to fuel his anger. It's a cool little contrast, but the animation, always with the Mario movie verse, has really shined in making this beginning portion really pleasant to sit through. Obviously, you have all the cuts of Bowser painting, like he's slashing his opponents, bathing them in blood, but it's paint and whatnot. But just him holding the paintbrush in his mouth, him licking his lips as he's like so focused on finishing his work, and his reaction to finishing and being so satisfied of it. Like, these really tiny, subtle animation details like that are frying me. They are what make the segment land. But stuff like that's also why the first Mario movie's animation is absolutely peak from start to finish. But I don't even think Nintendo and Illumination knew they made a generational meme in Bowser being so surprised and shocked once he finishes. That's literally artists after spending 5 hours trying to fix one line they felt uncomfortable with. Artists drawing anything above their skill level, shit posters after concocting an idea for and editing a meme, seeing how it's finalized after 30 minutes. It really is that satisfying and funny just from an animation standpoint all on its own. You can really tell the Illumination animators love drawing Bowser in these movies and exuding him with Jack Black's energy. And it is also humorous, they really went and remodeled the dude's jail cell. The guy who was going to terrorize Brooklyn, the Mushroom Kingdom and other lands, the guy who kidnapped Mario's brother and multiple citizens of Snowland and the Kong Country, forcibly tried to marry his new friend and crush, and beat his ass to the curb during the climax. Someone in the Mushroom Kingdom, maybe even Mario and Luigi, or at least Luigi for all we know, someone after everything he's done really said, yeah, sure, yeah, we can build you a mini castle. We'll give you some foliage, we'll throw in some furniture and hobby tools, we'll accommodate for your really tiny size, we'll even throw in fake fire at the base of the prison. Like, that's pretty hysterical, as it is cute, but we got some character stuff between the bros and Bowser. Bowser's project at the start was him painting Mario dead, left with nothing but bones. One of the ways he can die in Galaxy, mind you. That's cute, and if we're talking references and fan service, a few of Bowser's paintings are self-portraits, but one has him in his clown car, and another has the flowers from Yoshi's Island. And as he's going upstairs, dude, I thought he was humming the Common Observatory theme when he was going upstairs. I lost a charisma point and a credibility point in the reaction. That was him humming his boss theme from Super Mario 64, which, still subtle, still cute, still cool. I don't think I'm gonna call Bowser painting, though, a homage to Mario Paint. It literally is just Bowser painting. I get it. But these movies have done way more Easter eggs being actual Easter eggs and references with more effort behind them. Calling this a Mario Paint thing feels a little too cheap in my opinion. Bowser shows Mario and Luigi a portrait of him shredded, six-pack abs as Peach fawns over him, and it's charming obviously because he's so obsessed with Peach and he loves her, and the art's also really good. I would commission Bowser for Min Min and Palutena art, but I love Luigi actually gives honest criticism. He loves the color of the work, and Mario hates Bowser so much to where he just calls it trash out of spite. And not only does his rage bait work, for whatever reason Bowser valued Mario's opinion, even when they both know they hate each other's guts, and yet Bowser crashes out for Mario's only 2 words in the entire trailer. Like, it's obvious the feeling would be mutual against Mario and Bowser. They've been enemies for decades. The main thing that had me belly laughing is little petty banter like that between these two is so rare. Not a lot of Mario games really explore Mario and Bowser directly taunting each other. Bowser's Fury is pretty much the closest thing we got when Mario reacts to both Junior and adult Bowser like he's so done with dealing them. Or Odyssey, kind of, where the ending has them both fighting for Peach's love at the end. It always was just the gameplay and the setup with Bowser being the main antagonist where you see these two actually butt heads. Even in the RPGs, it's mainly Bowser stating how much he hates Mario or how begrudgingly he's helping Mario on some adventures for his own selfish gain, but it's a Mario game. Mario hardly says much audible dialogue and coherent words. So it's just really entertaining as someone who's been around and knows these characters for decades, seeing the team still get Mario's and Bowser's character down and allow them to both be so petty and childish just because they both hate each other and they unironically see each other as rivals for Peach's love, even when she doesn't have those feelings for Bowser anyways. Like, it's subtle character details like that that make this very amusing to watch. All three of them are insanely in character here too. And even if, let's say, this is Luigi putting on a straight face to keep the peace, maybe he tried to befriend the guy early on in the film, and it doesn't work out, and he's like secretly scared deep down. I can vaguely piece how Charlie Day's voicing Luigi here. You could kind of pick up he is a little shaky in his voice, he might be a little scared. Maybe Luigi's just putting on a front to Bowser. And either Bowser is too, or he genuinely believes Luigi's farce, assuming that is the case. But even if it's not, I love the convincing idea Luigi's practically friends with Bowser in this clip. Bowser likes Luigi's company. I guess, assuming Luigi being scared's not true, either Luigi wasn't too scarred from being in Dark Lands and captured by Bowser, or he must have had some really good exposure therapy, because even he looks happy to see Bowser. Both cases of him either putting on a face just so his brother won't cheap shot him to keep the peace or anything like that, but also him kind of trying to warm up to Bowser and vice versa when he still hates Mario. Both outcomes are still really in character for Luigi to do. The way Bowser greets each bro individually, just the way all three of these characters interact is so on brand for them. It's so in character. It really was just that hilarious to me. Luigi managed to befriend DK at the end of the last movie, or at least DK vibes with Luigi's presence. But both him and Bowser, to varied degrees, cannot stomach Mario's presence. Like, Mario's so cooked in befriending these big anthropomorphic characters. It's very funny. And there was that whole Bowser x Luigi gay ship a while back during the first major trailer. But even without that, it is a very delightful detail in how Luigi's the favorite among the cast, regardless of how genuine he is. It would be funnier if this was just him genuinely trying to give these characters a shot, despite everything Bowser did to him in the last film, and how much Mario's probably against the idea, and rightfully so, with everything Bowser did. It's great, man. It's just genuinely fantastic. All their characterizations, the way it builds off how the original movie ended, both the obvious and subtle details about all three of them. It's just a great segment they put in this trailer. Even when Mario straight up utters just 2 words max in the trailer. It is just sublime character work. But it also raises the question too, with Bowser still being small, which is cool. Immediately the first movie segues into the second one. But Mario ate a mini mushroom fighting Donkey Kong in the first movie, and when he got hit, smacked up against a wall, he returned back to normal size. Like, does Bowser even know how to cancel the mini mushroom's effect? Or are they really force feeding the guy blue mushrooms? Like, if it's the latter, I low-key think that would also be way funnier. But if they answer that with either option, it is gonna be a funny joke either way. But I could also picture Mario's holding in all of his rage and anger back, because Bowser did do quite a lot of bad stuff in the first film, including almost killing his brother twice, and he could be worried the mushroom's effects could wear it off. Like, it's just fun to think about stuff like that, because that likely is the case. And now, let's move on. Let's focus on Peach stuff, because the way this movie's gonna open looks to be the same way Super Mario Galaxy 1 opens. The Star Festival, whole treasure trove of shooting stars falling from the sky. Gorgeous ass shot right there. But a launch star lands on the castle rooftop. Peach and Toad fly into space using it. Beautiful visual of the launch star. Beautiful visual of the two flying through space. They fly through a planet that resembles a lot like Drip Drop Galaxy from Galaxy 1. With a planet way off in the background, donut shaped with curves wrapped up all around through it. If you guys remember, there's a metal donut-shaped planet with large vines crossing through it from Gusty Garden Galaxy. It could be a different planet or have completely different terrain. It looks to be the case for the latter, but the shape's exactly the same as that planet from Gusty Garden Galaxy. On top of that, we get a segment later where Peach is fighting in a cube-shaped room surrounded by a bunch of ninjas, and the room itself is filled with a bunch of neon lights, bright pipes, coin blocks, all of this referencing the bonus stages from Mario 2, Super Mario 3D World, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Ninja's also originating from Mario 2 and being recurring characters in multiple games, including Mario Wonder. There are also slot machines on the wall with the pipes, and you see some paths in the room go up the wall. So it's obviously going to be playing with gravity as you'd expect from Galaxy. But the fight's on top of this giant roulette ring, which does give heavy Mario Sunshine vibes, the boss fight against King Boo and Hotel Delfino on Serena Beach, and Peach is kicking their asses, bro. Even whipping out her trademark parasol, and you see her whip out the parasol when they go in the launch star too. But the main thing to draw from in all the Peach segments is, it looks like there's gonna be an A and B plot in this movie. We see the Mario Brothers travel through a desert later on while Peach and Toad are doing their own thing in space. So instead of Luigi and more characters just being trapped at Bowser's castle while Mario's the one carrying the main plot, to where the first movie doesn't really have much of a branching plot line once Luigi gets kidnapped. It's kind of, I mean, you would think a Mario movie, Mario would be the one carrying the A plot, but the idea at least is still kind of up in the air who's carrying the A and B plots. Odds are one team's carrying the A plot for a while, then they swap, but it'll be fun seeing what shenanigans Peach and Toad get wrapped up in. This portrayal of Peach being able to keep up in a fight all on her own, still trying to be maintained. There's more to why Peach is a little divisive in the Mario movie, but I gotta admit, it is still really fun watching her tussle and smack the heck out of a bunch of ninjas. Toad's also wearing his big-ass backpack from the first movie, while also sporting a neckerchief when you see them fly through space. Likely safe to assume we're gonna see Toad flesh out into and create the Toad Brigade as he molds into Captain Toad, like in the Mario Galaxy games, which would be very delightful to see. But speaking of separate plot lines, one cool piece is seeing Mario and Luigi decked out in desert traveling gear, getting a tinge of Mad Max vibes, but they use bikes to drive across the desert to their destination. Major Mario Kart World vibes, as that's the whole thing with that game. The destination being Tostarena, the famous Mario Odyssey level. We're actually going to get the full town fleshed out in this movie instead of a quick slideshow pass through in the last movie, which is really cool. Even if we don't get the town, maybe it's just one of the pyramids. Still more than what we got in the first movie. And there was Old Spice products leaked a while back with Mario Galaxy movie character renders on it, Luigi, Yoshi, and Toastarenans on the packaging. So this film's still likely going to get about as much Odyssey love as the first, which is really cool. But going back to the Mario Brothers themselves, Mario's fit goes kind of hard, but a big thing about this movie that seems to be the case, and it would be an improvement if we do actually get more of this, is more Luigi just actually doing stuff with Mario. One major critique people have of the Mario Brothers movie is it basically feels like a Mario Brothers movie until 16 minutes into the movie itself. Once the bros split in the warp pipe, it's largely a Mario movie, as Luigi gets kidnapped pretty quickly. So it hinges on what Mario does throughout the rest of the movie. We don't get much Luigi once the Mushroom Kingdom rolls in. We especially don't get much Luigi contributing to the plot or the core goals and obstacles the movie presents. So the fact we have a segment of Mario and Luigi bantering with Bowser, but we also get both bros traveling to a major setting in the movie, really gives me hope Luigi's gonna have a more prominent role in this film than being a damsel, which would be fire. Really hoping that's the case, but it is also ironic because even though Luigi does help Mario in Mario Galaxy nabbing a couple power stars, the movie titled Mario Brothers is the one with potentially less Luigi. Meanwhile, the game where Mario basically is the primary focus is probably going to be the movie where we get more Luigi. Like, it's a little dose of irony right there. And considering a decent bit of sunshine imagery and theming is present in the film thus far, one major component of the Galaxy games is the second most important antagonist to them, the recurring Mario character that debuted in Mario Sunshine, Bowser Jr. We get footage of him causing havoc at the castle and a clip of him making a speech in the direct specifically. I love Bowser Jr. I think he's the lowest of keys and underrated Mario character in the eyes of fans, so I'm really glad he's getting a major role in a big theatrical movie where he might go mainstream. The other exciting piece of his inclusion is he's got his trademark magic paintbrush, but he uses it to transform into Wonder Bowser Jr., his Wonder transformation from Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I love that so much. Mario Wonder, great game, but it's such a recent mainline title, it dropped practically right after the first Mario movie dropped. So to have a game that recent be a major ability for one of the main antagonists in this movie is really cool. Same for him summoning a purple ball and chain, his design when he's in the Wonder transformation, even his base design too, is also pretty much perfect. The logo on his paintbrush is his own. People are saying this cuts the chances of EGAD being tied in at all, but Bowser Jr. changed the logo on his brush not that long ago. In Bowser's Fury it has his logo, but it's still the same paintbrush EGAD made, so I wouldn't write him off just yet, just because of the logo. But him breaking into the castle during the Star Festival, I called that from a mile away. And it's interesting how this movie is kind of juggling Sunshine and Odyssey, as well as with Galaxy being the main focus. I do kind of hope we get more I do kind of hope most of the movie we do just spend most of it in space, you know, because it's a galaxy movie. It kind of goes without saying. But Toast Arena, some of the casino imagery in the area Peach fights the ninjas in, the fact this is Bowser Jr.'s major introduction into the movieverse, and Yoshi, who was also a prominent player in Mario Sunshine, is also getting his theatrical debut. I'm low-key kind of expecting more Sunshine in this movie than we all anticipate, especially because Bowser Jr. was the main antagonist of Sunshine. Bowser was the final boss, but Bowser Jr. is the reason everything happens in Mario Sunshine. But one of two main things most people have their gripes with Jr. His eyes. We have flashbacks in the first movie showing Baby Mario and Baby Luigi with their seed eyes. They literally look one-to-one to how they look in the games. Or even just the Toads. All the Toads in the movie still have those black bean eye looks. So there is a good question why they didn't just opt to do basically the same thing for Bowser Jr., because that's basically what he looks like in the actual games too. I personally don't mind the eyes. I'm sure it's something we'll get used to, but the rest of his design is excellent. The other thing though about Bowser Jr. in this film is his casting. Benny Safdie, I hear he's a good actor, but he sounds like a much older Bowser Jr., who the character usually sounds sometimes having a tinge of raspiness, but his voice is higher pitched. He usually sounds like a little kid, and he is canonically a child, but the voice in the movie is a lot deeper. He sounds more like a teenager.
From the ashes of his father's defeat rises a new conqueror. The Bowser name shall be feared once more!
I'm willing to see how his voice molds into the character in the rest of the movie. This is a bigger case of more people iffy on the casting with the Junior than with Chris Pratt with Mario, it looks like. But most of the iffy castings in the Mario Brothers movie turned out to be good picks. This could be a Chris Pratt scenario we're seeing again. That, and I'm low-key already kind of warming up to it. It sounds more a voice you'd hear on an actual little gremlin. Bowser Jr. does pass off as a little gremlin for how flexible he is in abilities and attacks, but primarily, a lot of us thought that was Jack Black playing Bowser Jr. Even after him coming in the direct to tell us who's voicing him and it's someone else, like, the voice is kind of reminiscent of how Bowser sounds in the movie. This basically sounds like a younger Jack Black. And for a brief period, a lot of us did think that was the case. In that sense, the voice does fit considerably well, even though a lot of people are saying he kind of sounds like Super Mario Logan, and they're kind of not wrong. Either way, I am willing to wait out for how Benny Safdie is going to portray Bowser Jr. Before I make any immediate judgments on this one, I think it's going to be a Chris Pratt situation. I think it's also going to be a Kamek situation where in the games, Kamek's also much higher pitched than all. He sounds closer to a fairy tale witch. But in the movie, he's a literal old man, but that still works super well too. But the funniest thing, for whatever reason, about Junior's reveal, they deadass gave him the Prowler theme, the Spider-Verse Prowler, like, it's the exact same sound. It's the same exact sound when he transforms, like, why? But also, please tell me that's in the final movie. Spider-Verse and Mario both adopting the same name, like that would be really, that would be funny. That would be really funny. That would be really cool. But Bowser Jr. being here on the big screen, his design, him having his paintbrush, the Wonder transformation, just everything about Bowser Jr. is hitting so damn well. And of course, the best for last, my SHAYLA. Oh my God. My SHAYLA! Look at her! Oh my God! My SHAYLA! My SHAYLA! She's so gorgeous. Oh my God. The big apple. The apple of everyone's eye. The star of the show. You can't have any Galaxy anything without Rosalina. She's the poster child for the Galaxy games. She's the biggest thing everyone was anticipating for with this film and how the movie's going to portray her, and say it with me, it's perfect. It's perfect. Everything down to the last minute details. Perfect design. You could kind of argue they're using the same model as Peach, and they do look similar, though I'd argue the facial contours are a little bit different, but no. I love how she looks. The way she just magically summons her wand, and when she attacks in one shot, her dress morphs to match how it looks in the games. It's awesome. And she gets confronted by the first major Grand Star boss in Galaxy 1, Mega Leg. on the big screen. He even has the little arrows by his legs Mario uses to climb up on him. And we know damn well they didn't even have to do that, but they did it anyways. But Mega Leg in the movie, awesome. Dude, Rosalina was both scrapping and aura farming, bro. She was aura farming. She was summoning launch stars like crazy, blowing up Mega Leg like it was nothing. She was zooming directly under him like she was Black Adam. She was fast, bro. You get so many shots that make her look so cool. And she was cool and calm and collected the entire time despite her life was in danger. I mean, maybe it wasn't because she was strong. But the fact we're getting a Rosalina that fights, a Rosalina that actually whips out space magic and whatnot for combat is really lovely. And how smug she is in the end when she defeats Mega Leg. They've been doing that with Rosalina more lately, just giving her more sass, and it really is that enjoyable. And her theme, Gusty Garden Galaxy, when she summons her wand, when Mega Leg blows up, they hit you with the little beautiful, elegant, pristine. If you thought Rosalina was popular before, oh, just you wait. Now that she's going to become more mainstream from this movie than strictly Mario Kart, you guys have not seen anything yet. She's about to skyrocket in Rosalina stocks. And we do get another clip in the direct with a little dialogue with her and the Lumas. A little baby Lumas there too. But going back to casting again, another surprise, Brie Larson is playing Rosalina. And another dose of irony. The ironic thing with this decision, for the longest time, there was talks that if Metroid ever got a live-action movie, she would want it to be cast as Samus. And like visually, you could see the vision. She dressed as Zero Suit Samus back in 2018. She wanted to make a Metroid movie possible, and a lot of people did picture her as having such a role if that did come to pass. But now, she's not playing a character in Metroid. She's playing a Mario character, which is a little ironic and funny. Some say it's an okay fit or not a good fit, whether the voice or the actual Brie Larson herself, etc. I have not seen Captain Marvel. I've not seen the Marvel show either. You could call me lucky. I hear nothing but bad things about Captain Marvel, and I especially hear worse things about the Marvels. My only exposure to her is like the little bit she gives as Captain Marvel in the Avengers movies, but Captain Marvel, the Marvels, I always hear how her acting's rough in those projects, but also a good chunk of her not so good films were a result of poor direction or script, because someone also told me she was goated in The Room 2015. Specifics here and there, I'm completely out of the loop on. I haven't watched a single Star Wars movie minus the first 2 sequel trilogy movies until 2 years ago, where my best friend got me on a lot of the good Star Wars movies and shows. Point is, you can imagine my movie expertise is a little limited. But I do also remember like a while back, she did kind of respond to certain criticism along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing, I have better things to do than listen to a 40-year-old white guy complain about my acting. I don't know if she claimed misogyny and he wasn't or he was or whatever. It did kind of attract the whole anti-woke political crowd. But as a general response tossed out in the open for more general audiences to see, plus the whole anti-woke thing, not the best way to say I'm not going to respond to this certain criticism. I'm hearing she's mellowed out, though, the last several years. I'm largely spewing what I've heard from other people, because I've seen a lot of divisive opinions about her being cast as Rosalina. Like, very divisive. I know some critics and Marvel fans mainly have beef with her. But as far as her voice and portrayal as Rosalina, it's kind of perfect. It's, once again, perfect. It's not a lot. I'm going to pull up the clip right here. You hear how she is in the clip.
Once upon a time, there was a brave and noble princess named Peach.
I want to hear the story about the plumbers.
We did that one last night.
Plumber, 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 plumber.
Okay.
It's pretty close to how Rosalina usually sounds. At the very least, it's a lot closer to her deeper, more reserved, elegant calmness her voice was in the Wii and early Wii U days. The way she grunts when she attacks Mega Leg's also exactly the same as her usual grunts you'd hear in Smash and other games. I don't know specifics surrounding her track record other than she has been a big Nintendo nerd for a long while, but how Brie Larson voices Rosalina, unironically, at least to me, is a ridiculously good fit. I'm really looking forward to how she executes Rosalina's personality and mannerisms, how she'll portray one of my favorite Mario characters of all time. It's great the clip we get is her reading to the Lumas in her library. It does also make you wonder when that clip takes place in the story too. Originally, I kind of assumed her reading her story to the Lumas was going to take place at the end of the movie. The Lumas like this story about Mario. He's made a name for himself. It looks like. And then I could picture Rosalina talking about some once upon a time is a story of a short man with big dreams, big ambitions, and a big heart. This is transition to the Super Mario Galaxy movie logo. Bam, credits roll. That was my original train of thought watching this clip over and over. But now I'm almost expecting this could be the intro to the film. And it plays into the theory I have of Rosalina in this movie, and I will discuss it later. But it's also mainly the baby Luma. We got a tiny little ass baby Luma in here. The apricot colored Luma is the one Mario befriends in Galaxy and gets the spin attack from. And there's only one apricot colored Luma you could spot in that clip instead of all the different various colored Lumas. That's why I'm leaning more towards these are beginning shots, and it also might hint at Mario getting the spin move in this movie, which would be really interesting in terms of just giving Mario more attacks, and potentially if it functions like how it does in Galaxy, where it still gives him a little air hop. I just know if that's there's going to be some platforming segments in the film where he uses it to extend and fix any botched platforming he's going to do, because it is like a light version of course correction. And another reason why I believe the Mario Galaxy movie will be better than the Mario Brothers movie is basically the fact it's Galaxy themed. Rosalina's a big focus. Already, you have to have her storybook or in some way, shape, or form her backstory. And that's the bonus branch of Galaxy's story that helps make Rosalina a popular fan favorite and why so many people praise Galaxy's story. Having it here, giving Rosalina more of a motivation to aid Mario and keep order and peace in the cosmos with his help would literally automatically put this movie's writing at least one tier above the Brothers movie. And I don't think many people are going to disagree with me on this one too. But my SHAYLA, Rosalina, she looks phenomenal so far. I'm really confident they're going to deliver when it comes to everyone's favorite space princess, which is now canon, at least in the movieverse. She is a princess. Gateway Galaxy looks nice. I thought this was the observatory, but you could see in the background in one shot when Megaleg appears, like it's in the background, the observatory, sporting 3 towers than its usual 1. So it got a redesign for the movie, and it does look really cool. But that makes me think with the palm trees, the flowers everywhere, and Rosalina's by a fancy looking building where she fights Megaleg, unless the spaceship really is a traditional one, where it splits in multiple parts and then combines when blasting off, I'm gonna say this is at least the planet of Gateway Galaxy. I do also hope having Rosalina here and her introduction to these movies, her backstory being sad, somber, heart-wrenching, and whatnot, but I mainly hope for as colorful and lively the Mario movies are, and I hope it's the same with this one, and it definitely looks like it's going to be the case. I do hope they also balance some moments of somber tone, melancholy, silence. That atmosphere Galaxy 1 has a good chunk of the game. I think one key aspect of this movie they could get away with, and it could low-key cushion if they don't have a crazy plot, even if they don't explore characters and character dynamics much. If they match Galaxy's atmosphere and balance that vivid and joyful, fun Mario-level sauce with Galaxy's quiet, empty, infinite dread and fear in several levels, that would go over extremely well, I can imagine. But the woman, the myth, the legend herself, Rosalina, she got one of the best transitions over to the movieverse. I don't know if you guys know this. Just in case you don't know, I love Rosalina. Mario's one of my mains in most Mario spin-offs. Yeah, can you believe that someone plays Mario in the spin-offs? Oh my god, but he has no personality when that's bullshit. Oh my goodness. But Rosa's one of my go-tos, Daisy and Waluigi as well, depending on the game, Funky Kong and Pauline on top. I know my college friend went insane style at this trailer. He loves Rosalina. I don't blame him. Me too. I adore Pauline, but there's something about Rosalina, man. I think I got my definitive answer for the best Mario girl after that trailer, lowest of keys. We do stand Daisy in this house, though. All the princesses are great, but Daisy, Pauline, Rosalina, for me personally, I should probably stop. I could simp about Rosalina for hours. That's basically it as far as what the trailers show, Easter eggs, and stuff to glean from it. and I did toss a few predictions and theories here and there. There were a lot of questions and theories I had, as well as a good number of wants and wishes for this movie. I put down so many theories, predictions, and wishes for this movie in the initial script. If I kept going, this video would have literally been roughly an hour and a half long, talking about Peach's character, general character dynamics and depth, the pacing, the runtime, whatever the hell that deep cut niche character people behind this movie keep trying to hype up, etc. And I'll give y'all the pass. You could say I'm milking content, but when we're 45 plus or so minutes deep in the first half of it all originally, which I'm not sure how many of y'all would have wanted to see in one specific video that's not a review of the actual Galaxy movie itself, or if the algorithm would have pushed it, but we'll keep it condensed. We'll keep the theme and thesis of this video consistent. I will gloss over some obvious wants that I'm definitely getting in this movie anyways. Actual Galaxy levels, we already have a couple. Drip Drop, Honeyhive, Good Egg, Gusty Garden, etc. Rosalina's character, I'm very confident they're gonna get right. The soundtrack for this movie is gonna go crazy, hoping for no insert pop culture songs, and they let every Brian Tyler song flourish as he's been absolutely crushing it as the composer, even though they're probably gonna still put in some insert pop culture songs. But game songs, Purple Comet, Enter Bowser Jr., Egg Planet, Bowser Jr.'s Fiery Flotilla, Gusty Garden Galaxy, which is confirmed, Yoshi Star Galaxy, etc. Galaxy power-ups, Cloudflower, Rock Mushroom, Bee Mushroom, Red Star, even just a handful of those, etc. Yoshi's a given. Let my man Charlie Guzman, aka Dashi, voice him. Dude, that would be the biggest power move they could ever do. Nintendo Illumination. I'm not getting my hopes up, but it would be a really funny thing if they let Dashi voice Yoshi in the movies. No, I don't think Rosalina and Peach are going to be related because they look similar. I could be wrong. I see why people are theorizing that because I think it is the same model, but I could see Rosalina knowing more about Peach, not necessarily them being blood relatives. And every aspect of the presentation and animation is utterly kino. But I'll put a pin on way more theories, desires, and predictions for now. Let's keep a regular output of content going and engagement being more focused, natural, and palatable, at least on my end delivering it to you guys. Bottom line is, I have a problem. Bowser locking and painting, licking his lips while so focused and satisfied as hell upon completing it. That part's ticking something in my brain, man. Even that's giving me an insane dopamine rush. It's just such a human, relatable feeling that's animated so well. I don't know, man. Clearly I have a weird obsession like Bowser does, because you might think I stretched this out on purpose, but I always have so much to say about almost any Mario anything a lot of the time, or just general games or things I love that I'm passionate about like this. It's kind of the norm for my channel. Peep other fleshed out discussions I got. That's what we do here at SuperMarioT. But I could also attribute that to the fact I was raised on Mario my whole life, pretty much. I'm 27. Since I was 5 years old, when I played my first Mario game back on GameCube, Super Mario Sunshine. Then I got more Mario games those next couple of years, like Mario Party 7, Super Mario Strikers, Mario Superstar Baseball, not a Mario game, but Super Smash Bros. Melee, plus the DS, New Super Mario Bros., Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, etc. But Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door and Super Mario Galaxy specifically made me never look back. Galaxy really fully cemented for good my diehard love for the Mario series. All that Mario molding in my brain growing up was a blast, but it really does feel like I'm getting rewarded for always having faith in this little red goober. And it is really nice to just have a franchise as humongous as Mario and still manage to shoot the shit and hit its mark pretty consistently decades later. Because you always hear our franchises fall off, shows, movies, how they get worse, especially if they just stay on for too long. The Simpsons, Family Guy, Assassin's Creed, Plants vs. Zombies, Battlefield, Call of Duty's definitely had a rocky history for a while. Mario, though, largely pretty dang good. Paper Mario for a while was kind of going down that path, but while I have my qualms with Origami King, it and the Thousand Year Door remake definitely turned things around so far for the series. Mario Party was in the same position, but has seen some massive comebacks during the Switch era. Mario and Luigi survived, and has much better odds of sticking around. Luigi's Mansion, even with the divisive 2, has always been a good series. Mario Kart, always good. Mario Sports, always good or good enough in the Switch titles cases. That one's definitely debatable, but mainline games though, even the bland new Super Mario Bros. Ones, a lot of them, and especially the 3D ones, always hit, man. Mario's always been on such a grind of bangers upon bangers for so long, and it's still going stronger than ever. These movies only serving to make Mario even that much more popular and mainstream, and the standard's still rising for both the games and the movies. It's a beautiful feeling, man. It's really beautiful. The Super Mario Galaxy movie could do plenty to be even better, but what we have currently is just so brilliant, and I'm still reeling in pain how much I'm blessed with this film and the film franchise in general. I'll save my own bulk of theories, ideas, predictions, and wishes and whatnot for another video. But let me know your thoughts, your predictions, feelings, anticipations, and such down below in those comments. Y'all watch this because we love Mario and we love Mario Galaxy, and we are interested in how this Galaxy movie looks, and I appreciate that a lot. I do think we're going to get a major Mario game next year to coincide with the movie. I highly doubt Mario Tennis Fever is the only thing we're getting. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you like people shooting Mario shit, and you can bet your bippy we're shooting Mario Galaxy movie shit in the near future, stick around for more of that to come. The Mario movie hype train's back, baby. It's exhilarating. Get excited. Stay super.
哟，嘿，妹妹，嘿，我来呀！共和到哈哈呀！拉面，嘿，来面，来个面，共和再见呀！哈哈，拉面，翘手面，谢谢。